Hi, welcome to the College Football Show on the Sports Talkline Network, where we talk sport 24/7, 365. Guys, this week got a very special show. We welcome Sports Talkline royalty to the show, Nate Dowdy. Nate, thanks for coming on, mate.
Well, thank you for having me. Blessings from the United States.
How is it over there?
Oh, it's fantastic. We got forest fires. We got all sorts of great stuff going on here in California.
And we got lots of good college football too, so that's why we're here, guys. Look, before we start, hop on to Sports Talkline on YouTube. We've just gone over 125,000 subscribers. It is huge. Got some of the best NBA highlights in the game. I believe there's another game today. The Lakers will win that one easily. So is it on today or tomorrow?
It's on tonight.
Tonight, yeah, nice.
Well, tomorrow for you, but tonight for me.
Tonight, yeah, still works, yeah. So, look, very, very excited about that. The Lakers will win it easily. Again, I think the Heat are just making up numbers. But, look, this is a college sports show, so let's talk about college football. Mate, there's 10 awesome games that I sort of want to touch on this week. A game that you and I covered yesterday, North Dakota State beat Central Arkansas, and it was North Dakota State's only game this year for quarterback Trey Lance. How did you see Trey Lance going?
Well, the interesting thing about him is, on the show yesterday when we covered it, I drew parallels to him to Josh Allen, because if you remember Josh Allen at the University of Wyoming, he had elite traits as a pro prospect, but he was more athlete than he was pro-style quarterback. That's the way I look at Trey Lance at the moment right now. Going to need some refining to do. A great-looking athlete, broke a 50-something yard run the other day. You saw the arm talent, not necessarily the consistency throwing the football. Really jumped out at you the way he was able to rush the football. So he's going to be in a situation where he's going to take a year or two to develop before you see results.
Yeah, I really liked what he was doing on the field, but as we sort of spoke about yesterday, I think he needs a bit of time to spend in a system where he can sit and wait. I think getting thrown to the Wolves with a bad NFL team next year is going to hurt him. I think getting a chance to sort of sit and watch will help him going forward. And I can see he's got talent that he can shine over the coming years. So there's a lot to like there, I think.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I mean, this is one and only one-off. So I think if you're going to go and compare it to baseball, I think maybe he hit about a single or a double.
Yeah. Nice analogy. Now, coming up next is one of my favorite teams so far this year. Now, you all know I'm an LSU Tigers fan, but sometimes you need a second team. So I've taken upon myself to be a coastal Carolina Chanticleers fan. The team out of the Sun Belt are now 3-0. They beat the Kansas Jayhawks in week 1, and they've just had another huge win over Arkansas State, 52-23. That's 3-0 now. The next 2 weeks, they're coming up against the Raging Cajuns. And for some reason, they play the same team 2 weeks straight, which I find strange. But both these teams are 3-0, and next week is going to be a massive hit. If they are not ranked when the AP 25 comes out this week, there'll be a riot, I'm telling you. Nate, what do you think about Coastal Carolina?
That's an impressive name they got there. I mean, you had basically the Raging Cajuns, and then you had the Chanticleers. What'd you call them?
Yeah, and Chanticleers. I think it's a bird of sorts. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I mean, you genuinely stumped me there.
Yeah, they're good, man. Yeah, a young freshman quarterback, Grayson McCall. Remember the name? Sounds like a bird himself, actually. McCall. But look, check them out, guys. I am pounding the table for them to be ranked this weekend. This show might come out after the rankings are out, but hopefully they're the top 25 this week. So, look, moving right along, Alabama, they're winning again week after week after week. They seem to be doing the right thing. They had a bit of a down year last year, obviously, with LSU having such a strong season, but Alabama have come out and absolutely destroyed Texas A&M, and I think they should be ranked number 1.
Yeah, I mean, there's an argument there. If you look at the receivers that they've paired up, I mean, with Eric Waddle and then I forget the other guy on the other side, but good Lord, they put up some just like sick numbers. I mean, 5 catches, 181 yards, multiple touchdowns, as opposed to someone else who had about 5 catches and went over 100 yards again and added a touchdown there. someone said Alabama's reminding everybody who daddy is in the SEC.
Yes. And I think Texas A&M have gone out and spent too much money on a coach to be coming out on national TV and getting thrashed the way they have. I think kind of like the Dallas Cowboys, they kind of need to start going back to basics. I think Texas A&M are struggling. They were ranked 13th. I wouldn't be surprised if they're now outside the top 25 after the result this week. So struggling a bit there. But Nate, one of your favorite teams, the Florida Gators. I know you've been pounding the table for them for a long time now. They got a good win over South Carolina. Now, Carolina were actually okay in this game, but break down Florida Gators, mate.
Florida Gators, man, they got their quarterback, Kyle Trask, and then they got a tight end who's going to be an absolute phenom in Kyle Pitts. Oh, my God, that guy is a problem and a half. I can't wait to see who he's paired up with at the next level at the NFL, him being a junior. I think there's just a multitude of ways you can use him, whether it's online as a typical Y tight end. You can split him out in the slot. You can split him out wide. You can do whatever, man. He's just a roller coaster out there.
Oh, yeah. Do you see them winning the SEC? They're currently ranked 3. Obviously, I think they play Georgia and they may play Alabama, but if they don't, they'll obviously face those teams, say in the Final Four or in the SEC championship. Do you see the Gators going all the way?
I can see them making the Final Four. I can see them upsetting Georgia and winning the East.
Yep,
I really can.
Very nice. Ooh,
I trust their quarterback more, and when it comes down to big games, I trust the quarterback play more.
I'm big on Georgia, but we'll get there soon. At the moment, let's talk about the Texas Longhorns. Now, the Longhorns finally lose the game. They should have lost last week against Texas Tech. This week they get beaten by TCU. This is a bad loss, man. This is a bad loss. Sam Ehlinger is not a good quarterback. I said this last year. He came back for one more year because most guys had him going undrafted or maybe in the very late 6th or 7th round. The kid comes back for one more year and he's doing his draft chances harm. I can't see him being any better than he was last year. The Longhorns are in trouble here. They were ranked 9th. I lost to TCU, man. I think they're gone.
At least in the late 20s. I mean, it's going to be interesting because you have the game next week against Oklahoma, which is basically going to be a toilet bowl game now. I mean, If you thought about the 2 contenders in the Big 12, you thought Oklahoma for sure because of being back-to-back Final Four contenders. Now, here we are with Texas, and both of them are, one's a losing record, the other one's 1-1. Or what's Texas now? Are they 1-1 or what? 2-1?
They're 1-2. They're 2-1. Yeah.
2-1. Okay. Yeah, but I mean, really, I mean, the loser of that game should be ashamed of themselves.
Yeah, well, yeah. Oklahoma's coming up on our list just a little bit later on. But at the moment, let's touch on Ole Miss. Ole Miss beats Kentucky in a overtime game, 42-41, which gets Lane Kiffen his first win as head coach of Ole Miss. This has been a long time coming. I've always been a Lane Kiffen fan. Going to Ole Miss is a bit harder on him. I think he's probably not quite there yet. I think they'll be stronger for it, but I think, again, they're just making up the numbers this year.
Yeah, I mean, it's really going to come down to year 3 or 4 with Lane Kiffen to really get the recruits in. That's if he does. I mean, he's competing against the best in the country for recruits. And not only that, across town, you got Mike Leach you're competing with for recruits. So really, I've never thought Lane Kiffen was an SEC guy. You saw the way it turned out when he was in Tennessee originally. I think he needs to go back to the Pac-12 when they resurface. Yeah,
it's difficult. It's always difficult coming in to the SEC, and I think you need to be the elite of elite. And I don't think Kiffen's there yet. And as you said, you're competing against a lot of other great teams as well. And so it's hard for you to recruit kids to Ole Miss when they can go to Bama or LSU or those ones. So it's a bit difficult for him, but look, all the best to him. They've got their first win this year, albeit in overtime against a Kentucky side. So Now, my favorite SEC team, the team I've been bashing the table for all year to go all the way, is the Georgia Bulldogs. They come out and destroy number 7 Auburn 27-6. It was good to see Georgia start to hit some form. They've lost 2 quarterbacks in the off season. JT Daniels is still trying to recover from an injury. He's been passed by the doctors, but I don't think he's fit. Hopefully he's back next week. They've been using Stetson Bennett, a great name, Stetson Bennett. They've been using him for the last 2 weeks. He's been stronger now. I can't see him holding the job from JT Daniels once Daniels is fit. So nice to see Georgia have a win. And it looks like SEC is going to have 3 teams in the top 4. So
yeah, and actually the rankings, at least in the top 10 so far, it looked like Georgia did leapfrog Florida for the third seed. So we're going to see who's right. Oh, geez, my Stormtrooper dildo fell in my way when I was doing that.
It's time for college football name of the week. Auburn defensive back Smoke Monday was ejected for targeting. That's right, Smoke Monday. What a fantastic name that is. Thank you to Smoke Monday's parents. Great name. Thanks, mate.
Yeah, well, we know how he was conceived.
Yeah. Now, my team, LSU, they finally found some form. They were ranked 20 after their loss to Mississippi State last week. They came out and beat Vandy 41-7. Miles Brennan and the Tigers are starting to find some form. He hit his targets all over the park. I think he threw for over 300 yards again. It's nice to see them back. So LSU are certainly moving forward. So it's good to see.
Yeah, your boys are back in the saddle. How does it feel, Spinksy? How does it feel to be on top of the SEC again? Or not on top, but back in competition? I embellished a little bit.
It's nice. Yeah, we've got a few hard games coming up the next couple of weeks. But, yeah, I think we're starting to get back there again. So it's nice. Yeah, very nice. Now, speaking about the SEC, Mississippi State and Mike Leach, their run has come crashing down after just one game. They've been beaten by Arkansas 21-14. Should have lost last week against LSU. So Mike Leach sucked in. Welcome back.
Well, it's interesting. Arkansas has been playing people tough. I mean, if you saw the way they played Georgia the week before, they at least played them tough at least the first half. And then they come and out a big upset against Mississippi State. So maybe this Arkansas team isn't as bad as a lot of people thought. And this is actually Arkansas's first SEC victory since October of 2017.
Nice. Good result. That's good. Yeah. That's good. I like that. Look, keep an eye on Arkansas. They'll be going forward, I'm sure, whereas Mississippi State are going backwards, and I love it. Screw you, Mike Leach. All right, and the final game we're going to cover today is the Oklahoma Sooners, who went down to Iowa State. Now, this is their second loss. They're now 1-2. They were ranked 18th. A loss to Iowa State. I see them going out of the top 25, and they are done. They're done. I think now it's about focusing on individuals being drafted higher than it is about the team trying to make the Final Four. How do you feel?
Yeah, I agree. Spencer Rattler throws another interception to end the game last night. But, yeah, I mean, I see him as Jekyll and Hyde. I mean, one moment you say, oh, wow, this guy could be Patrick Mahomes. And then the next is just kind of like, what was he thinking? Yeah,
he has those moments where he's exceptional. And I know he's got probably another 2 years in him, but he's just not as strong as he should be. And I think now their focus is going to be solely on trying to get guys fit and ready and show them to be having awesome games for the draft. I can't see them doing anything this year. So,
yeah, that game with Texas, though. Imagine if they lose to Texas. That's going to be bad.
Oh, yeah. So I'm not sure if you guys saw our tweets over the weekend. There was 8 ranked teams who went down this weekend. So number 7, Auburn. Number 9, Texas. Number 11, UCF. Number 13, Texas A&M. Number 16, Mississippi State. 18, Oklahoma. 24, Pittsburgh. And 25, Memphis. So we've had 8 teams in total go down. It was a huge week for teams to go down. If you're a fan of those teams, I'm sorry. If you're a fan of teams that beat them, awesome work. It's nice to have a win. So,
Yeah, that's like disgusting, because that's one thing that always drew me to pro sports over college sports, was the fact that there wasn't enough parity. But we got some upsets early this season.
Now we've got 4 massive games next weekend. We've got Tennessee taking on Georgia. Now, Georgia are probably a favorite here in this game. I think Tennessee might get lucky and can probably keep it tight with Georgia for a good 3 quarters maybe, but I think Georgia will have the win here. Nate, do you see it the same way?
Yeah, same way. I mean, you said JT Daniels might come back and play next week. So, I mean, that's just a massive advantage, Georgia. And I think Georgia's just week by week getting better.
Yeah, now Oklahoma and Texas is also next weekend. This could go either way, to be honest with you. I'm probably going to throw my hat in the ring for Texas. I think they can come back. Oklahoma are struggling.
Yeah, Oklahoma's just can't stop anyone defensively. But then again, this is the Big 12. No one can.
Exactly.
Yeah, I expect it to be a really exciting game where it's going to come down to the last second, like the Red River rivalry usually does. There, you say that 10 times fast.
Yeah. Now, over in the ACC, we've got what should be the ACC title game between Clemson and Miami Hurricanes. This is going to be a screamer. I can't wait. This game is going to be fantastic. Clemson haven't been tested at all this year and don't usually get tested at all year anyway. So the Hurricanes are finally starting to hit some form. I think the Hurricanes take them here, Nate.
Ooh, okay. We're going to have to disagree here. I have Clemson taking it because I'm just a fan of Trevor Lawrence. This was the scene that he was built to play on. Mm-hmm. So I think I always go the advantage quarterback, even though I am a fan of De'Aaron King in Miami. I think he does give him a bit of this team an edge, but I still am going Clemson, just too much overall talent.
They certainly do, yeah. It'd just be nice to see them get knocked down a peg or two. So let's go Hurricanes. And the last game we want to look at for next week is my new team, Coastal Carolina Chanticleers, against the Louisiana Raging Cajuns. This is going to be a screamer. Sunbelt, 2 teams at 3-0. It's going to be fantastic. And, of course, Coastal Carolina are going to get that W.
Okay. Is that because you like their name better?
I do, yeah.
Yeah. So you prefer the Chanticleers, or whatever they're called, compared to the Raging Cajuns?
That's it. Now, Nate, tell the good people about your upcoming shows. You got a few shows coming up, and tell them where they can find you on Twitter.
You can find me on Twitter at No Remorse Sports. I got my own show coming up, catching you up on the NBA Finals, catching you up on the MMA fights, getting some football, find out why the Buffalo Bills are for real.
Very nice. All right, guys, don't forget to subscribe to Sports Talk Line. And next Sunday, the 11th, is my birthday. So jump online, send me gifts, money, scotch, whatever you need to. Find me online, send me gifts and sort it out. Find me on Twitter at SpincyCFB. Subscribe, like, rate, review, comment, all that stuff, guys. Until next week, hooroo.